Hello there, everyone. So we're going to get started on making inserts and photo mats and fun stuff for our project. So I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of what I have going on here. I did a few bits and pieces here just to speed up the process, but these are pretty much self-explanatory here. This is a file folder. This is a legal size file folder. If you have letter size, you can do the same thing. Yours will just be smaller. All right, so my finished size here when it's all folded up is 6.5. And then here I folded at 4.25 and then 4. So literally I just fold. I don't do any measurings. My measurement is for it to fit in my pocket, and then whatever folds I get, those are the folds I get. All right. So book page samplers. These are papers that are absolutely important to almost every single paper collection to break up pattern. But I find it to be boring to put a book page in every single collection, or a music note sheet, or a dictionary page. So what I did was get all of those together and put them in one sampler collection for you guys, and that is in my shop right now. All right, so that's what I'm using. Ooh, my hand is itchy. What does that mean? I'm so superstitious. All right, so now I did some layering. All right, I used a bunch of dyes. This is a Wildflowers dye. This is a Tim Holtz dye. There's all sorts of fun dyes that you're like, what the heck is this for? But once you start, they're good layering pieces. And I'll show you this dye because I think it's important to note. I normally don't give you guys a lot of detail on what I use because I don't want you to think that you have to buy these things to achieve the look. You can make these things. You can take a strip of paper and punch holes in them. But I got it from this dye. And this looks like what the heck is this dye, right? But this is what it's for. It's, in my humble opinion, I don't know what Tim had in mind for it, but it's a layering piece, all right? Just to give you texture, to add texture to your layering. All right, so I've got two. I did a little sewing here. I've got this green paper, which is my absolute favorite. I use it a lot, so forgive me. And then I have a little Wildflower here. This is also a Tim Holtz dye. And I color pretty much, because I'm not good at coloring, guys. I color I don't do markers. I don't do stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying I don't. I just don't know how. All right. So I do pretty much everything with inks, and you get a really nice look, and it's kind of for those who need that elementary type of coloring. All right. So that would be me. But I think they turn out beautiful, and I think that not to toot my own horn here, but everybody has their favorite thing to work with, what works best for them. And inks are my favorite. That's what works best for me. Other things do not work best for me. Look at that, how beautiful that turned out. And that is just with inks and little eyeshadow applicators. Okay, look at that. How beautiful is that? Again, inks and eyeshadow applicators. That's it, nothing else. All right, so look at this. Look at what magic you can get. How beautiful is that? Just absolutely stunning. So that's what I use for that. And these are all the Tim Holtz Wildflower ones. So when you see them throughout the project, that's what it is. All right, so let's layer these pieces up. All right, so I'm going to just kind of offset this one here. And then I'm going to put this one down just to add a little more texture and layers, which is lovely for a project like this. I don't think this is for every project, but for this project, it definitely calls for it. It depends on the paper. And I just want a little bit of that green poking out. Okay. And when you do something like that, you can add a little sentiment to the side, like sticking out of there, which is really cute. And these are part of your Fairies and Fireflies paper collection. Right, pretty much all the embellishments are. And then I had this little birdie here that I was going to put down here, but I don't. Oh yeah, he's cute. I was going to say it looks like overkill, but it's not actually. Now that I look at him, He's not. And I have to glue his flower down because it's very, very delicate. This is from the paper collection as well. All right, these openings that I made in the in this is a Tim Holtz die as well. And all of those things will be linked down below. I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to leave that bird alone. All right, so now for the inside, and I tend to glue everything down once I'm officially in love with it. I don't leave things hanging up too much because these are going in pockets. And I know I'm going to keep this, so I'm going to start gluing things down. If you need some elevation or some layering, you know, some what do you call that? More dimension. If you don't like gluing everything down, then you can use a few pop dots here and there. But you have to be careful, guys, because these things go in pockets. Okay, so you want to make them as flat as possible. And that's beautiful. Like if you get really fancy, you can do a layer of acetate here over that. You cut it down to size and you can set it with eyelets, and that's what I'm going to do with this one so it doesn't get beat up as it goes in the pocket. And it just gives you a whole different look. It kind of gives you like this giant specimen look, if you will. All right, so I'm going to cut this one down really quick so I can show you that. So reason why I'm giving you all this detail is because when you see this in the other ones, you'll know how I made it. All right, so I want to cut this just right under, and this measurement is for my insert. Perhaps yours is out of letter size paper, so yours will be different. All right, so I'm cutting this as if I were matting. How's that? All right, as if I were matting. That's the perfect thing to say right there. All right, so I made a few little pieces on my own for this album, and I'll share those with you. All right, so I'm cutting this at 8 inches by 4. And then what you're going to do to set this is you're simply going to use eyelets. And you can do it on both sides if you want to. It all depends what I put on the other side, but I doubt I'm going to get too fancy. All right, so I want to trim this to the design of my file folder. Okay, and then you're going to grab some eyelets. You're not gluing this down. You can sew it if you want to, but I don't want any more stuff. So you need 4 eyelets. So just because you're making something look like a specimen, it doesn't have to be small. Okay, it does not have to be small. So I want my holes, I want my eyelets to be, come here, don't mess with me. All right, let's see something here. It's hard for me to, where is my, oh, reorganizing is never good, guys. Never good. You can't find anything when you start moving stuff around. All right, so I'm just going to punch some holes in my acetate that are not so close to, you know, so far in, because I don't want these to be, take up too much space or take away from the design of this thing that we got going on here, okay, of our insert. So now with my pencil, because I know I can always recut this. I didn't want to punch the holes in the wrong place before I looked at it. Okay, and this is going to look so pretty. So before you start really decorating on the inside, you want to get this done. This is where you work on your cover first. And it's kind of opposite of what I normally do, because I normally work on the inside first and then go to a cover. And I'm going to have to leave that alone and just put my eyelets somewhere, because it has multiple holes already. Okay, so now let's do it, guys. Let's start attaching this. And now that it has an eyelet here, you have an opportunity to add a dangle if you want to. Only to the top if it's going in a pocket. If it's not going in a pocket, you can put one from the bottom, which is also really cute. And the purpose of this acetate over this entire piece is truly functional, but it adds a wow factor. Okay, it truly does. It adds a wow factor, and you're welcome, guys. You are welcome. It's a goodie. Stay over there, my fun pencil. I call it fun pencil because my pencil never stays still. It always wants to have fun. It's a fun pencil. It's a party pencil. It's always somewhere, all over the place. And this one is kind of weird because I don't think this is going to actually set to anything, but I'm going to try. Maybe once I set it, it'll stick to the sides. So this one may require a little bit of glue. Oh, no, it did. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so now look at this, guys. How fantastic is this? I don't know if you can get the full effect of this in the camera, but it's so divine. It's really fabulous. And it's open, all right? You leave it like that. You don't, I mean, if you want to sew, you can, but that's the look. That's the look you want, all right? At least the look I want right here. And I know you want this look too, guys. You will love it. All right, so pattern paper, a little stenciling. I always like to hammer my eyelets down, especially when something's going in a pocket. Hammer time. All right, one more time, hammer time. I like to make them nice and flat. I personally like the look of the eyelets. It gives it a little bit of an industrial feel. I love metal. Yeesh, I hate when I get glue in places that I don't need the glue. Anyway, so I've got some washi tape and I've got some pieces of paper that I have scraps, and then I have pieces of paper. I took an entire sheet of your cardstock paper and I cut it into squares, into photo mats. And we're going to bind these in here now. Okay. We're going to bind these and they're going to look amazing. So you want to arrange them somehow, some way, right? Short, small, large, whatever you want. It's entirely up to you. You can put some... I printed some of this writing paper on tracing paper, which I love. Turned out really cute. Important to have writing. See, look at this. Watch. What a big difference that makes. I'm telling you, you have to have this bundle, this sampler. All right, so I'm going to stick these down with washi. All right, just keeping it nice and easy. Oh, sorry, not there. You want it in the fold. My goodness, I almost screwed that up. So I'm going to start here because I have, you know, that over there, which I can absolutely put some glitter on and make it super fabulous. So I am going to stick right over that, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. And then you're going to take your next paper, and you don't have to be right on the fold. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to. I was going to sprinkle some glitter on that sticky part, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. How's that? Let me tear it off. Well, let's just take off the whole thing. There we go. All right. So now for the next one, I'm going to be slightly off the edge so I can actually put my tape on. Okay. I should have started with this one like that. Forgive me. Let's start again. I wasn't thinking. So slightly off the edge. All right, so you can put your whole tape there. And I like to tape them from top to bottom so that, you know, they have stability. Not over the top though, don't go over it. And what's fun about this is that you can put them in all different configurations. If you go over your thing, it's going to hang over, okay? So you want to cut that there. And now you want to go on the other side. Let me cut that off there very quickly. I think it's smarter to put it on the, to build your book off, because it's hard to do this. I think we should build it off of and then stick it on. Now that I'm really thinking about it. And you can go apart as far apart as you want. Just remember, if you stagger them, that's less room for your photo mat, okay? So I'm just adding some glue to my washi tape so that that last very one, that's my binding one, so it can stay. Okay, I'm just going to fold that over so it doesn't stick together. All right, so, and you definitely want to ink the back of these, but I can do that later, so I wasn't too worried about it. All right, so this is going to be my first one. I absolutely got to have this. I'll put you in the back. Oh, I have this. When I cut out my window, I have something around here. Where is it? Oh, I can use you too. Okay. So I love this dark paper. It's so beautiful. All right, so now we have a tall one. Sorry for making a mess. So we have our tall one. Now we have this one. Now we'll do this, this, and this. No, I know what we're going to do. We're going to add our little whatchamacallit. All right, so we have that all set. How pretty. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay, now let's give this an edge. Just make them interesting because they're all pretty much the same size, which is quite boring, I must say. Quite boring. You can use that for something else. Now that looks more fun. Okay. And I'm going to shorten this one just a little bit. Let's see what happens when we do this here. This paper is so delicate. Moving and cleaning up my craft room was the best thing I ever did. I have so many fun things to play with now that I forgot I had. All right, friends, let's put our tape on each of these layers. This one will get the tape last. Sorry if there's like no rhyme or reason to this because I just threw paper all over the place, but you get it. I know you do. I know you do. All right, so I'm going to put washi here. So you want to go midway, and you don't want to go over the edge. You want to go right to that edge. Come here. Don't mess with me. I mean, it's better if you use a really thicker one, but this will do just for photo mats. And then we're sticking that right there. Nope, I have to do... See why I use flaps, built-in flaps? Because this makes me crazy. This type of thing makes me crazy, but I want to use my supplies, right? I have them. I might as well use them. Okay. So we're going to get our glue on this one. Actually, I'm going to put glue on all of them because I don't want it to come off. I'm going to come a little higher with this one. Okay, and then this one. just a little bit, just to give it that reinforcement that it needs. I'm going right on top. It's much easier to do one at a time. This one, we can give it a fun edge on top. And it'll be sticking out. You can't see it yet, but I'll add something to the top so you can see it. So adding the washi midway. And then adding a little bit of glue. Very little, because if it oozes, oh crap, I put it on the bottom. That's okay. Because if it oozes, you are going to see it. I think I want this one on this side. How cute is that? Let's get our little washi action going. Well, actually, I don't need washi action on this one. I'm going to glue it right over here. And then that could be a little pocket. Okay. Make sure it's right on the edge so when I fold, it stays. Perfect. All right, that is so cute. And of course, these would be areas for photos. Okay, or you can have little tuck spots for your journaling pieces. And these are my printables. I have so many things, guys. Oh my goodness. You can do little journaling pieces if you want to, which I think are also very appropriate. And you can do that with a little pocket here. And I'm going to have sewing on this one, but that is okay. And I'm cutting off the sewing. The thread, I mean, not the sewing. A little bit of glue on 3 sides, and that'll be our little pocket right here. But still, I want to put a photo mat over there. Or maybe some paper. Something I got to put behind there. Can't just leave this. Be a little tuck spot. I really jacked that up with the ripping. I hate sloppy. All right, so instead of that, oh, this one goes so perfect. All right, so I'm gonna mat. Let me mat first. Alrighty, and then we're going to tear this baby. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? And then this one will go right here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever makes you happy. How pretty is that? Now we can have a pocket after I put this down. It's too sloppy. Okay, and do you see the point of these little strips that I put there? Just to give it, so I don't have to bring my paper all the way to the edge. Look how pretty that little strip looks there. And you can put the paper behind the strip too. I didn't glue it all the way down. If you wanted to put it behind it, see the torn edge, or just slightly away from it. Let's do slightly away from the torn edge so you can still see that torn edge. It just looks so pretty. All right, now we're going to add some embellishments to this. So this is the only one I'm doing with you. The other ones you're going to see the video, okay? I mean, you're going to see them finish, but pretty much everything is done the same way. So now I'm going to get some embellishments, get my stamp on. All right, so that we can make pretty things. Oh, I forgot to add the window. Darn it. I could do it to another one. Where are my, oh, here are my sentiments. Here we go. So we're going to start adding some sentiments to give this a little bit of some interest. And of course, you can still fit your picture there. You can collage all sorts of things, guys, which make it beautiful. Then we can add, not this one. That one's not fun. The beauty about having the ability to cut and print and cut your embellishments to the size that you want is so fabulous. And this is a pocket, so this will keep everything closed. I think I'm going to put this guy right here and leave that the way it was. But I have to put one over so that I can close whatever's in here. Okay, and then let's see if I want to put this guy. That can go in one of the pockets. Oh, that is pretty. So I'm just going to glue this on the top teeny bit because I want to put a piece of acetate back there. But I'll be here forever in 10 days if I do that now. So that will go there. Okay, put a little piece of acetate behind that and that will be so fabulous. I just realized I covered my lovely lady, so I need another sentiment. Oh, we can put tabs here, which would be super cute. And like for instance, you don't have to use things for what exactly they are. You can tear this and put it behind there, which is exactly what I'm going to do for your tab. Okay. And that's from the journal set. All right. So look at how amazing that looks just with, and who says you can't use this? You absolutely can. Just ink it. I personally like to fold things because they just look cuter and you add more layers, but sometimes you don't need layers, so you can make an insertion point here if you want to add little journaling thingies, but that is entirely up to you. I lost my glue cap and it's, here we go. It's going to get all yucky, yucky, yucky. Okay, so we can add this guy like this, or we can show him off like this, right? Just to give it a little bit of, or I can make it a permanent show off like this, because he's just, there we go. See that? So he totally stands out now, which I love. All right. And you can tuck a photo behind this if you want to. There's just another layer, which you should want to, right? This is for pictures. And now we can glue this guy down. Especially these little bits here that are super delicate. And there was a fairies. Where are you? I had a little, it'll turn up. I had a little dot, a little embellishment that said fairies on it that needs to, that I need to find it. There we go. That's perfect. I can't find fairies. I find this. So all sorts of layers, guys. That's the key to a fantastic project. Layers, 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 and more layers. So then you can tuck this back here. See that, how cute that is? And I love that this is very clean. So it gives us the, it kind of tones everything down once things are very, very clean. And I like that. Or at least I should say I need that. I need that bit of toning down. I don't want to waste this. The tracing paper is so pretty. So I want to put it somewhere. Whoopsie, stay. Okay, that's beautiful. And then to make this fairy, you stamp. Okay, you stamp, my friends. And I've got a few fun fairy stamps that I got on Amazon. Like, see, this is from my journal, journal cards, my printable, and that's not fairy. So watch. Oh, did I not glue this down? What is wrong with me? I thought I did. Not enough, obviously. Don't want to put too much. Oh, I know. My card shoved it down there. Got it. It wasn't dry yet. So, I'm going to put that right there so I know where to stamp. I want you to be able to see the fairy. So I've got, let's put this fairy right here. It looks like she's sprinkling something on there. Perfect. So this is what you're going to see. And now you know how I achieve it. Okay. I don't want, yeah, let's go for the black. I love black, and I know that sometimes it looks harsh, but I love it. I feel like it makes everything pop. If you don't want it too dark, just stamp one time, and that way you can lose some of that ink. But practice, okay? So that's removing some of the ink. That's what your fairy's going to look like. Not so much. Okay. Let's see. I think that's good. So I'm giving it quite a bit of ink, but I'm not going to. Let's see. Right around the mushroom. So when we put her in there, there, look at that, how pretty. And you can still journal on that. You journal around the fairy. That's the beauty of these things. You can still write your notes just around the fairy. Or if you're writing with a, you can write with white pen around on the fairy if you want to. But why would you want to write on the fairy? Just in case you want to. Who am I to judge? A mere crafter. Okay, and then let's get a little background on there with some of the yellow that I love. I love these stamps that have just like backgrounds. I love a background stamp. They're my favorite. And let's do it with some, of course, guess what I'm going to grab? My yellow. My fossilized amber. How predictable, Kathy. Yep, that's what I want. And I can take this out. I don't have to leave it in there. I just wanted to position the fairy. Just to look at that, how pretty. And done. We've got our fairy look here, guys. When you start making things like this, it looks quite crazy. All right. And you have to let it all come together. Okay. You must. If you do not let it all come together, you're going to have a hot mess. You're going to think it's a hot mess, and it's not. You just have not given it a chance. All right. I'm taking a chance here with stamping this here because I have layers, but I really want to put her here like if she's resting on this photo mat here. So let's see what I can do with that. What a cutie patootie. All right. What a cutie patootie. Oh my gosh, look at that. How darling is that? All right, so now we're going to, let's put her back because I don't want to lose my stamps. And now I'm just going to go all the way around with this and give it some fun color. So if you look at this closely, I did super light stenciling. Okay, so I inked in the antique linen. Let's see if you can see it. No, you can't really see it. These darn white lights. They're great, but for showing detail, not so much. I inked in the antique linen. Then I took a wood grain stencil and I used a lighter color. What was it? What was that lighter color? I have to find it. I think it's old paper. And I did that with the wood grain and it looks so pretty. So wherever the file folder looks kind of file folder, you want to add a little bit of stamping. Just to kind of bring everything together. And that's where these border stamps really do their job. Or these background stamps, sorry, not border stamps. They really do their job. And I forgot, like for instance, if you don't want to have to ink all that, look, because quite frankly, I don't want to ink all that right now. And you can, look at that. And you can do all sorts of different colors. You could do it just on one corner. It's up to you guys. You can do it on a little corner. Instead of having to ink behind the the piece that I tore off. You want to be unruly? I don't need to put glue on you. I'll put glue on the paper. So you can absolutely just do some stamping. That way you don't have to deal with all the inking. Quite frankly, inking hurts my hand. My work with me, Kathy. I need more of my coffee is what it is. Hurts my shoulder. Inking hurts my shoulder so bad. But it must be done on lots and lots of occasions, right? We have to do it. So this helps significantly. Okay, so you just hit it with a few little boom booms. And it makes a beautiful, beautiful border. You can go all the way around. So this would replace the inking. Look at that. See how pretty that looks? And again, you can do all sorts of different colors. I'm just a plain Jane. You know, at times I'm a little plain. And then here, oh no. This was a pocket. Hold on. I gotta get my magic tool. I need two of these so I can have one by my Cricut and one in my tool drawer. But I don't have two of them. I just have one. This tool will rip anything. Very carefully because you can absolutely rip through the paper. Which is why I didn't mat that. Because I wanted to put a little flower back here right on the edge. And then this is for inserts. You know, all sorts of inserts. Like so. And that's it, just plain, plain, plain. You don't have to do so much all the time. Okay? I'm going to put a little photo mat there. Oh! And you don't have to take so much time with every single one of these. My goodness, be careful with the glue, because it just wants to mess with you guys. It wants to mess with me. How pretty is that? Look at that. How am I going to do that without it getting beat up all the time? Acetate. Because that is, oh, you know what? I kept the negative. Let's see. What did I do with my negative piece? That's pretty too, but I don't want to cover that up. All right, well, you guys get the idea. When I show you a final review, you'll see what I did here. All right, but more than likely, I'm going to encapsulate that in acetate so I can keep it right there. To like a, let's see. Of course, I don't have the exact scrap that I need. It's not exactly what I need, but let's see. It would just be something like that. 2 layers, and then I would probably, yeah, because that's so pretty just hanging off of there. But it has to be on the front and the back, because when I stick something back there, I don't want it to jack up the, you know, I want to be able to go like this. So I think that's beautiful. All right. I'm going to work that out. And literally, I'm just going to sandwich her in between 2 pieces of acetate. That's it. All right, guys. So there you have it. There is your first little insert, which is so pretty. And once you get photos on here, remember, it's layering, 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 guys. Okay? Once you get photos on the mats become even sturdier. If you start off with a super heavy cardstock, it's just going to be too thick, okay? Too thick. And of course you can add more to this side, but I like it plain like that. I'm leaving it plain. So let me just show you this in the book very quickly before we wrap it up. All right, let me make some room here. I left my favorite ink uncovered. And this is how I do it, guys. I surround myself with all my scraps and my bits and pieces that I want to put in my album. That's what I do. And I have a big old mess on my desk that makes me happy. That makes me extremely, extremely happy. And you can put, I forgot, you can do some, I can probably put a fairy right here, which is what I'm going to do. But this would go right here. No, I'm kidding. This would go in a pocket like this. See that? How fabulous. I think I'm going to put this one though, because I wanted to show some more. I would probably put this one in here just so I can have, you know, the little fairy poking out. Look at that, how pretty. I sized this one for here, but it feels like I made it too thick, because remember, this is not a pocket. Remember, there's no flaps there. Remember, I glued that down. So you can see the bird down here. You can have this poking out. It's up to you. But I feel, I'm going to leave it in there for now. I sized it for this pocket right here. So we'll see. Look at how beautiful that looks. So beautiful. I love it so much. So that's what those are for. Okay, and look at all the room we still have to put goodies in there. All right, guys, so sip of coffee. I got my 2 pieces of acetate cut. And I was going to sew this, but I don't want the sewing, all right? I just didn't want the sewing. That's it. So I'm going to do tape and then a little something else, because acetate and tape are not friends. You can see it. But I love acetate elements in my project. And sometimes I'm limited because I don't know how to attach it. You know, it's hard for me to attach it. So I thought that it would be smart to try. So there's my acetate. There's the tape. I'm going to remove the tape backing. And I'm going to try something, guys. Right, so there is my flower. So stinking pretty. Now the kicker here is to get this on here straight, even though I can always cut around it and straighten it again, which I will have to do because this is not straight at all. So there it is. Let me let me cut around this very quickly. All right, not too much because I don't want to jack it up. All right, I think that's good. All right, so now I'm going to take, here's one of the reasons why I love working on this stinking paper. I'm going to take a little bit of paint, just a little, and I'm using paint because I need it to dry on the acetate nicely. All right, and I'm going to stamp lightly into my paint. Let me see. Yep. And I'm going to see carefully because you don't want it to slide everywhere. So you want to stamp on the edge to camouflage the tape. Or you can use a paintbrush. Oh, that is pretty. I don't know if you can see how pretty that is. Or I was thinking, and again, this is my test one. You can do a little paint wash around the edge. And you don't have to use your finger. I love this Inca Gold, Viva Decor Inca Gold paint. I love it. It's called Inca Gold, but it has all sorts of different colors. So check this out, guys. I have to say, I think I like this better. Covers the tape more. Like you can't tell if you're looking at tape or you're looking at the paint. Like you cannot tell. Just a little bit, not too much. I mean, if you want to do a lot, that's fine, but a little bit would be just fine. Now we have to see what it looks like on my project. So get a little bit more on the corners, you know, for that aesthetically pleasing look. I wish you could see how pretty that looks. Just beautiful. I think we've got a winner here for acetate and camouflaging the tape. Just doing some paint over it. I have to tell you that looks so pretty on the cover. But 2 flowers, no thank you. I have to be careful. Let's see if you can see the paint better on a background. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. So I would put this here right on the edge. The stem would be right on the edge of my pocket. And look at that, how pretty that looks. You can also, if you need more contrast, if you must have more contrast, if you must. Where are you? I just had you in my hand. I just cut you. Hmm. Where'd you go? I cut a little piece of that. The tracing paper because I wanted to use it to show you guys, but I guess not. Okay. Oh, I also printed transparency films because I want to use a couple of those. I think I said that to you guys. All right, so you would just glue it down right along the, so the point was if you needed more contrast, you can do that. All right, and you still see the transparent nature of the flower, but you know, you get a little more paper action if you need some more paper action. And let me cut this to size because it's always good to see once it's cut to size. It's hard to see when it's not cut to size. Okay. And this could be the area for your photo, which I think is perfect. See how important it is to have these papers? My goodness. Because let me show you. You would have to layer, which is still fine, but you would layer something like this over and then the flower, which I personally do not like that at all. Or something like this over, and look at how great that looks, guys. What a difference text makes. It's the whole point of having text. All right, so I'm going to keep this because I like it. I'm going to ink it. I like it a lot. That way I have something to anchor my photo mat. I still keep the transparent nature of my flower just kind of hanging out there. And then you can make a photo mat. So I'm going to do that and show you guys. Remember, you want a place for the stem. You want there to be separation so you can see the layers. And then your photo mat can be, oh my gosh, another element I have to do. A little file folder. Look at how cute. And then you have something anchoring it. All right, so let me just glue this down because, whoopsie, we're keeping this. I'm doing my glue right along the edge of my pocket. It's gonna ooze, so prepare yourself. I'm gonna take that out, and then I'll have to probably tear it up with my Cricut tool. And I put a little too much glue there. I know I'm gonna regret that. Alrighty, I could have done tape too, because the stem would have hid the tape. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I wasn't thinking, obviously. All right, so I'm going to let that all dry, and then I'll be back with a finished file folder. These file folders are from your, if you have the Essentials SVG bundle, that's where these are from, and we have a lot of them. There's all sorts of different sizes. Careful with all the glue. This is so pretty. So, so pretty. I like that better. How pretty is that? I can look at it all day long, guys. That's how much I love it. All right, seriously, I'm out of here. See you in the next one.